Alright, I want to explain a few things to you guys. When you work on these vehicles, you know, that fucker's too big. Fucking great. Alright, let me explain it. When you work on vehicles like this, back in the 90s, and I think it still adds to present day, the engineers designed this to fit as much shit into a tiny ass space as they can, and they also set it up so that only factory mechanics can work on these vehicles. So what you have to keep in mind is you have to be smarter than them. You have to look at, okay, why did they do it this way? And that's to keep the average backyard mechanic from working on their own vehicle and taking it to the dealer. They want you to take it to the dealer because that supports the dealership mechanics and improves their brand. See, these aren't really worn down at all. I think I got less than 25,000 miles on this vehicle since I redid the engine. But you can't be afraid of these. You just have to put your mind into why did they design it this way? How did they design it? And how would a factory mechanic do it? But then you have to figure out, oh, well, he's got special tools. Yeah, he's got special tools. He's got special tools like a spring-loaded shaft so he can bend around shit to get to whatever. Can't believe that fucker doesn't fit. Fuck, I gotta get the smaller one. Thought I already had that out here. And you can go on the forums, you can go anywhere you want. They're not gonna tell you how to fix it. They're gonna tell you, like I did. They went, replace the ignition module. So I did that. That didn't fix it. Then it was replace the coil. I did that. So after I replaced this and it didn't fix it, I said, fuck it, I'm going through the whole fucking thing. I replaced this, I replaced this, now I'm gonna replace that. The camshaft position sensor. And then somewhere down here, way down in this fucking mess of shit, there's a crankshaft position sensor. And if it doesn't start after I replace the camshaft position sensor, I'm going to go after the crankshaft. Because I'm telling you, I already replaced the fuel pump in this. And I can't believe a fuel pump has already gone out in less than, I think that was like at 12,000 miles on the new engine. So the biggest problem is shit like air conditioning, because this was R12. You can't fill it back up with R12. You have to go to R134, which means you have to change your compressor and all that fucking bullshit. But they know that, so they screw you over. I mean, this thing's even got a brand new alternator. I've replaced everything in this fucking thing. when I originally built it. The only thing I didn't do was go into the ignition system, because I was like, well, it was running when they blew the engine. Yeah, I probably should have done that. So, I do believe this is the fuel pressure regulator right here. I'll have to double check that, but yeah. So I gotta find that screw, and I gotta find that fucking Torx head, and then I'll get that off and we'll go from there. Alright, now you see down here where my finger is, I've got to rotate the engine around to line it up here. Then take these two screws out so I can pull this out and replace it. See, why did they design it that way? They designed it this way just to keep the average backyard mechanic to not work on their vehicles. Alright, I gotta figure out what screws are holding this fucking thing in.